So for us to work with Scratch, like now I have both desktop app and we can also work with the browser. So I just open my browser, probably like Chrome. Let me just work with Chrome. I just open your browser. All of us have different browsers, so you can open the browser of your choice. We have Chrome, we have Mozilla, we have Brave. I work with Brave and Chrome. So I've just opened my Chrome. Then after opening the browser, then you just type the URL. So the URL, you can type rpf.io/scratch -new. This is for the new project. So you just type the URL on your browser like that. I hope you're following me. Those who are already having their machines, you can follow what I'm doing and do it on your end so that you understand exactly what I'm saying. So you type rpf.io/ that is /scratch-new for the new project. After typing that on the address bar of your browser, you press enter, and then it will take you to the new site where you are going to create your new project. So it's just opening. There we are. So you can see some of the areas that I was talking about, where you can see the small card is a stage where your code is going to run. This is called the stage, and the entire area is a backdrop. So this is how it appears currently. We can change it to whichever you want. We are going to see how to change the backdrop. These are the code blocks, and you see they are categorized in these forms. We have motion, we have looks, we have sound, we have events, we have control, and all these other blocks. So whatever you want to use, you can identify from those codes. And then this is where you are going to arrange, where my cursor is. This is where you are going to arrange the codes that will be controlling the sprite. This is what we call the sprite. So these codes are what we will be controlling the sprite. Whenever you do whatever you instruct whatever your instruction is, or whatever your program is, you'll be able to see how it happens. So let us see how you can add a backdrop. So we start with the backdrop first. This is this entire area is called the backdrop. You can change that. This is now plain white. We can change it now. So how do we change, or how do we add a backdrop? So if you go to the bottom right of the screen, you can see choose a backdrop here. So there are majorly three options. One, you can choose the already existing backdrops, or you can choose to design the custom-made backdrop, or you can upload from your machine some background that you already captured somewhere. Probably you captured as some good scene, probably a lake or a forest, or some good scene you captured somewhere and you want to use it as your backdrop. You can upload it from your machine. But now we are going to just choose the existing backdrops. So you just click here and you'll get a list of so many backdrops that are given, that are categorized. You can have, these are all of them grouped together, but you can have fantasy grouped together, music put together, sports put together, outdoors, indoors, space, underwater, and patterns. So you can choose the category that you want, but you can choose them from all the categories. So which one do we want? Probably I want to choose blue sky. So you just click on blue sky and you see my backdrop changes, the stage changes depending on what I have chosen. So you've seen that. Then you can also choose to change or work with the already existing sprite. I said that the cut you can see here is called sprite. So you sprite, you can delete, you can choose to delete this sprite. It is here where my cursor is. You can choose to delete it, or you can choose to retain it, or you can choose to change or work with 2 or even 3, depending on your preference. So how do I just want us to delete this and work with another sprite, which we'll call silly eyes. So I'll delete this sprite here. I believe I'm slow enough for you to follow what I'm doing or what I'm saying. So you just click this delete icon here. This will be able to delete or remove this sprite. I just confirm deletion and the sprite will disappear. And then I add my own sprite. So for me, I'll not want to choose, but I would want to draw. So I'll instead of choosing, I can choose sprite. There are different sprites that I can choose from. Like I can click here and choose existing sprites based on animals, people, fantasy, all these categories. So here I can choose any if I want to choose from here. But if I want to customize my own sprite, then I'll go to paint. I'll show you how to do that. But if you want to just use the already existing sprites, you just choose any from these available options. So I've just chosen that, but I'm not going to work with that. I'm going to work with a customized made sprite. So I've just told you how to add sprite from the existing list, but I'm not going to work with this. So just allow me to delete this and work with the one that I have customized. So if you want to draw or make a sprite of your own, you just click, come to here where you're allowed to choose a sprite. Then these options listed upwards, the second option is paint. So you just click on paint. I told you I want us to come up with a silly eyes. So I'm making an eye or an eyeball. So I'll come with these tools. There are these tools available for me here, from which I can use to make an eye or an eyeball. So what do? The list of these tools, I just click on this cycle. So when you click on that cycle, then it will give you an opportunity to draw an eyeball. So if you want to draw a good one, which is a definite circle, you click on Shift as you draw the circle. That gives you an eyeball. Then you can see this circle has an outline and a fill color. So you can always change. If you want the outline to remain, you can leave it. But if you want to remove, you can come on these options. There's fill color. You can change the fill color. For example, I just want it to be probably white. So I can just say I don't want fill color. So there is this stroke here to show that I don't want fill color. So you choose here, and then the fill color will be removed and disappear. So you remain with a white background there. And then I also want this outline to be black. So you just click here and confirm. You just click there so that it remains black. And then after doing that, if you click there, you'll find the eyeball is already in black. So I am adding another cycle inside to show, is it now the pupil or what? So I just click there again, then draw another small cycle to indicate the pupil. For example, right there to show the pupil. I want to give the pupil a fill color. So my pupil will have a fill color probably of green. Then there is always a black spot inside. So, okay, I don't want, I just forgot to remove that. I can just undo. And then I give it a fill color of green. Then I remove the outline. Just click that so that the outline is removed. Then what I just add another black. There's always another add some black in your in the eyeballs. So I draw another cycle within that small cycle inside to show an eyeball. Then I give it a black color. So I give it black. So I just come to the fill color and then I identify black. So that is black. And then you remember I don't have an outline. So I have something like that. So you see, I already have a sprite that I have customized. So I want to make a code that will be able to operate that sprite or to make it work. So I want to come up with a code that will move this sprite around. For example, if I move this cursor, I want this code to be able to, this eyeball to be able to follow this the cursor or the mouse pointer. So how do I design that? I now use the code blocks. You must make sure that as you use the code block, you must make sure that the sprite is highlighted. So this is the sprite that I'm going to use the code block to operate. So I bring these events. So first of all, there is this green flag, and there is this green flag will be the one starting the project. So when you click the green flag, if that is what you instruct the program to do, it will start running the code, and you stop the program with this icon there. So in the event, so I bring the event. In the event that I click the green flag, what happens? So I bring event. So you just go to select the codes, select events. Then when the green flag, you can see it is indicated there. When green flag is clicked, what will happen? So you carry this code block there and put it here. So when you put it here, it will start to, this is now you have started programming so that the codes will be able to operate or manipulate the sprite. So when the green flag is clicked, what do you want to happen? So I just probably I want to rotate. I want this eyeball to rotate. So I just look for motion. I go to motion and then I set rotation style. So under the motion, you just look for a code for rotation. So I set rotation. You can see it here. You just bring it and attach it to the first block. So set rotation style. Which style do I want? I want, like for example, the rotation style that is given here is left, right. But I don't want that. Maybe I want it to go round, all round, all round. So I just click the arrow within this block, within this code. I click the arrow and it gives me this option to choose which direction I want the rotation style to be. So I want it to rotate all around, or if you don't want it to rotate, you just highlight that. If you want it to rotate left to right, you just choose that. But I want it to rotate all around. So I've just set that. So if I click this, no, I've not instructed. I'm just want to give another instruction for it to start operation. So that is the first step. The second step is to give another instruction for the eyeball to point towards the mouse. I want it to always point. If I rotate this mouse, it should always be pointing. This eyeball here that you see, the black thing, should be able to be pointing towards the mouse. And I will also give an instruction also about the color. If you can see, I've manipulated, I've used the color, the green color here and the black color. So I will also give an instruction to be changing colors as they rotate, so that you see how beautiful the program can be. So this instruction, I want it to be always forever. So I just go back to the event. I go back to the event. Then I first choose forever because I don't want it to stop. So I just scroll down. Is a control, is forever. So this thing should be happening forever. So I bring it that. And then you remember I said I want the movement to be always following the mouse. So the eyeball should always point towards the mouse. So I go to motion, and then I look for point towards. You can see this. If you can be able to see my cursor, point towards. I bring and put it inside there. Point towards. Remember, it is within forever. So at no point will it stop unless I am the one who will be stopping it. Then I said I also want to work with the colors so that as this thing rotates, the color also changes. So I also set a color. So this one is this. You can always scroll even without choosing. You can just scroll and see set color. I want to set color. Set color effect. Set color effect. You can already see it. It's under looks. So you check, you pick set color effect, bring it below the motion there. So set color effect to what? I don't want it to be 0, but the color effect should be changing according to the direction. So when the direction goes up, the color should be changing. So I look for direction. It should be under motion. So I just go to motion, then I look for direction. You can see, excuse me, you can see the shape of this direction is the same as the shape given within this code. So I just pick direction and bring it inside here, so that anytime I click now, up to that end, I think I am done with the part that can make this program to work. So you can just see, if I click this green flag, when I click the green flag, now you see what happens. I start moving my cursor. Now you can see, you check the direction and the color. As it changes the direction, the color also changes. The color also changes. And you can see the eyeball always follows the pointer. And that is the instruction that I've given the sprite, to always be following by the mouse. As I keep on moving the mouse around, it doesn't lose focus of the mouse. And at the same time, it changes the color. How beautiful it is. Now, that is that. If I want to, remember I said this one is forever. So it will keep on moving like this as long as the mouse is still moving. So I can stop that. So if you click stop, even if you move the cursor, nothing will happen. Now, you can also do this. If you want to operate with two sprites, you can come here where the sprite is, you right click and duplicate, so that you have two of them, two of the sprites. So when I click the green flag, you can see what happens with the two sprites. Very beautiful. Julius, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Robert Adera, for the good work that you have done. I hope each and every individual have maybe followed and they have shared. Maybe they now have the clue of what we were doing or what we are doing. So, as you have been told, my name is Julius Odhiambo, for those who did not join maybe when we were introducing ourselves. I just want maybe to take you to the maybe the rest of the part of the sprite or the coding, and we want now to make our sprite, our ball, to blink. You know, we have two balls. We have the eyeball, and if you see them, they are not blinking. They can just move, but if you want them to blink, maybe after 2 minutes, 1 second, 2 minutes too much. Maybe 1 second, 2 seconds, we can do. So first, I want to make the eyeballs to blink, so that when we move the cursor, the eyeballs can also blink. So how do we do? One, we go to our, maybe allow me to share my screen so that you can see the way I'm doing it. So here I have my two balls, and like the Robert said, if we move the cursor, you can see the balls are moving towards the direction of the cursor or the pointer. So we want to make this our balls to blink after every 2 seconds. So what do? We go back to our code blocks. We are going to use these codes. We are going to use the show and hide, meaning after every 2 seconds, it shows it blinks. After every 2 seconds, again, it hides. So when it hides, meaning it closes the eye. When it shows, meaning it opens the eye, just like the way we always do our eyes. So how do we do it? We are going to give a command that when we press or when we click the flag, the eye will blink after every 2 seconds. So you will go to your blocks, then you can stop this one first. So you will go to your block, then you will choose the event. When you come to the event, you can choose these two events, maybe when the flag is clicked or when the space key is pressed. So for me, I'm going to choose when the flag is clicked. So we are going to create another code. So we are going to drag this code, this block, sorry, to this part. Maybe you can just put it here or you can put it here, depending where you want to organize it. So I'm going to get another block, and this block I'm going to choose from the control. So why am I choosing from the control? Because I want it to happen continuously. So I'm going to pick from forever. Then I will drag it under the first block. So inside this forever control block, I want to choose one condition to show the eye. So you will show the eye, meaning that you will open the eye. So I will choose this one from the looks. Then you will go down. You will find the blocks, show and hide. So when you pick the show, it will open the eye. If you click the hide, it will close the eye. So we want to begin with the first one. That is the show. Then we bring it down under the forever control block. Then we want to give a condition that after 2 seconds, it closes the eye, meaning I will look where the block that has that condition is. So if you want to get that condition, you again go back to the control. So here you are going to get more blocks, but for us, we want to get one, that is the wait. So meaning we are going to wait for maybe 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, then the eye will blink. So what you will do, you will pick this block, drag it again, come with it, put it under the show, like the way. So we want to give it a rule. For how seconds? Maybe 1 second. The eye always blinks within a second. So let us pick maybe 2 seconds. So these ones, we are just adding some extras. We are just making our eyeball maybe to look so nice, to look real, so that as it rotates, also it blinks. So after that, we again go back. We are going to get another block for hide. We choose hide so that it can disappear, meaning it can blink the eye. So it will hide again. Then you bring it at the bottom here. So we are using forever because we want it to happen over and over, just like the way we use forever when we were we are setting the color and also moving the pointer. So here again, we are using the forever so that when the eyeball shows, it waits for 2 seconds, it hides. Again, it comes. So we want to see if it works. So let me try to click the eyeball. I think you can see one eye is blinking. So maybe someone might ask, why is it that one eye is blinking and another one is not blinking? The reason is I've only given the condition or the code for one eye. If you want both eyes to blink, you will click another sprite because we have 2 sprites. So you can come to this other one. Also, you do the same so that they can blink all of them. Alternatively, you can delete one eyeball, only that we have done it late. You can delete one eyeball that doesn't have the code. Then this one that you have remained with, you can duplicate it. You can come here, then you duplicate. So you will stop, then you will. So if you click the flag, you will now see when they are blinking all together. But if you have time, you can just go back to another, you can click another eyeball. Again, you give it the same code. So we can arrange our eyeballs. We can just stop it for a while. We can arrange our eyeball, then we can see the way they are blinking all together. So you can see our eyeballs are blinking. So as I move, they also blinks. As I move, they blink and they change the color. So my eyes are so big. And if you want to change maybe the size of the eye, we did not maybe share with you earlier, you can, maybe you need the eye that is so bigger than this. You can just come at the bottom here. You can see we have the size and the direction. So this size, maybe before I proceed, I hope each and every individual is following and you are in a position maybe to create a block for the blinking. So if you want to change the size of the eye, you can come at the bottom here where is written size. You can change these digits, maybe from 50 minus 50. You can change yours maybe to 100. So if you change, it will only apply to one eye. So if you change, you click out, then you see one eye has changed. So if you want to change all of them, you can come to this one also, another sprite. Also, you can change the size to be 100. Here we go. So all of them are in the same sizes. So if you look at our eyes, you can see they are changing, they are blinking. And also if you move the mouse pointer, it can change. If you are done with that, we can also do another one. If you look at our stage, we have only one stage. Like for me, I have only one stage. Maybe you need to have 2 stages, 3 or 4 or 7. What do we do? We can also add more stages. We can add more stages. Like for example, come. So for you to add the stage, you will, you will come to the backdrop. Like here, we have only one stage. You will come to the backdrop. Then you will choose this one at the bottom here, choose the backdrop. Then from there, you are going to see several backdrops or the stages. It's just like you want to change the theme. So you can maybe pick 2 to 3 themes or to backdrops. I want to pick maybe this one for hall. Again, I want to pick another one, maybe for the beach. And also maybe I can pick another one. I can pick another one from the maybe Space City. So these backdrops, we want to do a code, just a short one, to make these backdrops to move, to change automatically. So that as the eye is blinking, our backdrop can also change, just like we are changing the theme in our computer, in our phone, or the screensaver, so that we don't have a boring backdrop, only one. We can change them many. Again, we just go back to our codes. Here we have the code for the blinking. We can have, this one is very short, and it can only take us maybe around 10 seconds. So we want to choose another, we have chosen the backdrop, so we want to give it a code so that it can change automatically. What do? We go back to the codes. Here we have the codes. We are going to pick the event. So what happens? I want to choose when the space key is pressed. Now I don't want when the flag is clicked. I want to pick another event, which event, and if in case I press the key, the space bar or the space key, what will happen? It changes the backdrops, and I want it to happen automatically without me maybe pressing the backdrops. Maybe I can just stop this for a while. So what do? We shall go again. We shall come to the control. We want to choose forever. The reason is we want it to happen over and over without stopping. So we choose forever. Again, we go under control again. You pick wait. So under wait, you want to wait after 2, maybe let us pick 3 seconds. What happened after 3 seconds? After 3 seconds, we want to choose another backdrop. Where do we go? We go to the look block. So we go to the look. What happens if after 3 seconds, we choose another backdrop? That is the next backdrop. So that when you click, when you wait, after 3 seconds, you will see a different theme. And that one will make maybe our project to look at least lively. Nice. So what happened? Let us try. So I've given here a code that when the space is pressed forever, meaning over and over, you wait for 3 seconds, then you choose the next backdrop. And this one should happen automatically. Let's see. Here I have pressed. I hope you can see. Our backdrops is changing after every 3 seconds. So meanwhile, we can also maybe move our ball, and at the same time, our backdrop is also changing. So if you move this, 3 things are happening at the same time, and our game is now interactive because at least the eye is blinking, it is rotating, and at the same time, the theme is also, or the backdrop is also changing automatically without us pressing anything.